I love to win, just like anyone else, I love to win. I'm going to try to take every advantage I possibly can in any kind of given moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got MALOSI. That's right, MALOSI Golf makes his second appearance here on the Scratch Golf Show. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to the channel. My name is Marco and I'm your host. Here on the Scratch Golf Show, we discuss all things golf, YouTube, and professional. That includes news and interviews. Today, we've got 45 minutes with Big Mo. We discuss everything you did not hear in the Good Good podcast. I asked him about his relationship with Micah Morris, why the Good Good guys didn't defend him or said Mo will do anything it takes to win, his relationship with Paige, why people at the Internet Invitational were saying he was fast and loose with the rules. All of it, you're going to want to stick around to the end. I'll do my best to label everything in the timestamps below. Like the video and please leave your comments. I read and reply to them all. And lastly, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. 10,000 subscribers. I'm close, but I need your help to do it. So hit that button below, please. It's free. It helps me a lot. And I apologize for the editing today. I'm really sick and been really busy lately. Did not have the time to really get the quality what I want. But without further ado, let's get an interview with Mo. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another huge guest for you here on the Scratch Golf Show, making his second appearance, one of the most popular people on the internet right now, MALOSI Golf. Mo, Big Mo, or MALOSI. I should say MALOSI.
You should say MALOSI. MALOSI is the one that you should be saying.
Oh, man. How's it going, brother? I'm so happy to have you again. Second appearance here on the Scratch Golf Show.
Second appearance. I wish it was for, in theory, a better reason, but this is a good reason. No, I've been good, man. I've been really good. Just been enjoying life a lot lately. And have you been good? You've been chilling?
It seems like dude, I just went to the Lions game last night. Lions got the dub over the Cowboys. Yeah, man. I mean, I was just thinking, last time you came on, I think I was under like 300 subscribers, and now we just hit 8,500 last night.
Almost
I was
just
10K.
Telling you,
yeah, dude, the goal is 10K by the end of the year, which is just crazy, man. Brad came on in March, put me to 1,000, and that's obviously a big benchmark for monetization, partner status, and get like 10xing that number in 9 months is crazy. And the money's pretty nice, man. It does pay well. It allows me to invest back in the channel, which is, man, it's been good. Thank you. But we're not here to talk about me, man. As much as I love talking about myself, we're here to talk about you. And obviously we wanted to set this up for a while, but I had some stuff with the holiday and my water heater broke. So I had to like get that rescheduled. And that was like right before Thanksgiving. So, but yes, I don't know if you see the sign over my shoulder, but dude,
that's the first thing I noticed when you hopped on.
Oh, dude. So I actually have another one right here that I didn't get to use, but I have one that I
Mo.
Yeah, but I didn't.
I just love
went with that. I just went with the one that Mo didn't use slow. But I figured that was better.
That was great.
But yeah, man. Obviously, but a crazy few months for you, man. I know we connected at the People's League event like 3 weeks before the Internet Invitational happened, and I can't imagine what you were kind of going through, sitting on kind of going through everything. And Quan was there too, ironically enough. And nothing. I didn't hear anything. Obviously, and so. But anyway, let's start with just how things have been these last obviously. Once all the hate and everything, that first week was pretty hectic, but how have things been since then? And has it died down? Has things chilled out for you? Has the DM stopped?
Yes. The answer is yes. Everything has died down. Everything has slowed down a lot for us lately. We've actually had a lot more positive than we have negative. Of course, there's always going to be a couple guys who will comment things on my post or in the YouTube videos. I even saw in your video with Kendrick, there's a couple comments that were a little harsh, but it's at the end of the day, I can't control that, and that's their opinion and that's how they feel. And I respect them regardless. I don't blame anyone for anything. But yeah, dude, everything's been great for us lately. Like I said, the last 3 weeks have been unreal. I've gotten some of the most love I've ever gotten in the past. But no, it's been good. It's been really good.
Good to hear, man. I got a question. What was the craziest DM that you got? And it doesn't even have to be mean. It could just be crazy. What was the one that because I'm sure I know you got a lot.
Yeah. Well, I actually still to this day haven't gone through the DMs during that Thursday and Friday. I don't really care to. I don't want to see that. But one of the craziest DMs that I think my mom got that really, because all the DMs I got, I kind of just took it under the chin and like I didn't really think about it too much. But it was my mom's birthday on Saturday, the 15th, and she got a DM saying, "How does it feel to raise a piece of son who doesn't have who has zero integrity, and knowing that he came from you, you should be ashamed, and good job as a mom." I'm like, dude, like
And that was on
my
her birthday. I remember, like, because I obviously follow Max as well, your little brother, who's a former
yeah,
guest of the show as well.
yeah,
And like I had seen that it was your mom's birthday, and like, dude, that's like just like I can't imagine like shitty.
yeah,
Like, my mom's my number one fan. Like, she
yeah,
is supports, likes every video. Shout out,
yeah,
mom, I love you. But yeah, man, I can't imagine that. Like, that's got to be so
yeah,
shitty. And like, I know you talked about it in a good pod. I don't want to rehash kind of all that. Obviously, like, you're an
yeah,
asshole. Like, if you do that. I know I messaged you kind of privately, and I don't want to
yeah,
make public, but just like checking in on you and making sure you're all right. And I
yeah,
talked to Max as well. But
yeah,
a follow up question I have is because you had talked about it on the good pod as well, that there was a lot of people who did reach out like positively,
yeah.
you like people that you weren't expecting. And I don't, you don't have to share every name, but my question is like, what is the craziest person who like texted you or reached out after positively, or like, I guess maybe the most unexpected, if you don't mind sharing at least a name?
Yeah, first person that comes to my mind that reached out of the blue was my golf coach from high school. I had two golf coaches from high school. One of them, his name is Blair Gardner and Michael Edwards. Um, Super crazy. Just like I didn't think, because they're a little bit older. I didn't think that they watched YouTube golf. I know that they're fans of me and stuff because they know what I'm doing. But they called me and I couldn't believe how invested they were into the whole thing. But it was really cool to hear their voices again. They gave me a lot of words of encouragement. They're just, they're heroes to me. And so hearing them again really just kind of made me feel comfort. And so yeah, I think my golf coaches from high school was the craziest and underwhelming people that reached out to me.
Love that. Love that. All right, man. Let's talk a little bit about how did you get your invite? Like, I know there was obviously a few good guys: Garrett, Sharf, Bubby, Brad, who obviously won. I didn't know if it was like they just texted like Kendrick or whoever, just said, hey, like, pick five guys, or like they reach out to you directly. Like, how did you actually get involved in the Internet
Yeah.
Invitational?
So I technically didn't get like the personal invite, like, like everyone probably got on their own. Bob reached out to Garrett, said, "Hey, we need five guys. We want you, Matt, Bubby, Brad, and Mo." I think it was when I heard my name, I was like, you sure you don't want Sean? Like Sean Walsh is like he's a great golfer, a great personality. I love Sean. I think he has a lot more to offer than me. But it was just one of those moments where I was just like honored, and we got the invite through Bob, as like through Garrett. So Garrett's the one who reached out to all of us individually and said, "Hey, they want you guys. Can you make it? Let's do it." It's a huge
Okay.
opportunity. And so, yeah, that's how I got my invite. I have my plaque right here. Have you ever seen the plaque?
I have not in person, but I can. Yeah, grab it.
Oh, okay. So you have seen it though, in general, right?
Yeah. But you can still show it. It's cool. Love that.
In your opinion, this is a question for you. How much do you think one of these would go for if you were to sell it?
Oh gosh, what a question. 10 grand.
You think 10K?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's the first ever inaugural like internet invitational invite. I do wonder how much it would go for. I don't know if it's 10K. That seems like a lot, but then again, who am I? I always underestimate a lot of things. So
dude, speaking of, you should the free ad here, but for whoever did the auctioned off your rangefinder, you should just do that with the plaque if you really want to know.
yeah, yeah, seriously. Well, it's funny, dude. A lot of people were like giving me crap about that because it wasn't the Bushnell. You probably saw on the podcast, like that wasn't my rangefinder. That was one of the employees' rangefinders I used because I had two of those Precision Pros. the good rangefinders. My first one was the one that I sold, but the second one I got, it was stolen at the Internet Invitational. And so that's when I went and used that one kid's Bushnell rangefinders. So kind of funny how it worked out.
I love it, man. How much did it sell for?
$410.
I thought it would have went for way. I guess if it was probably like the
I
OG
mean,
like Bushnell one, I probably would have went.
yeah, yeah. If it was the original rangefinder, I bet it would have been maybe like 1,000. But
Yeah,
like then again, there was only like 200 people in the auction.
that's fair.
And who knows, maybe only four of those people even liked me. The other
Yeah.
196 hated me. Who knows? Just one of those things. But it was my first ever good rangefinder I ever received.
Love that. Love that. I bet if you sold the plaque for like 10K, that's a lot of blackjack cans. I don't know if you remember the first time I had you on, we talked about people don't know you love, I love
Yeah,
blackjack
yeah.
as well. So,
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we had a really big loss a few
oh,
months ago. So we've actually been sober for the last 2 months in the
smart,
gambling space. I
smart,
haven't even been sport betting. I've just been enjoying sports as a whole. Kind of, taking a little reality check and be like, okay, let's just slow down for a little
smart
bit.
man,
So it's been
smart
good.
man, responsible, responsible. All
Yes,
right, man.
trying to be, trying to be.
Let's talk. Let's dive into the Internet Invitational because like I said,
Yeah,
that's got a large majority of the conversation today. Not all slope gate, but I want to start with beef. Obviously, unfortunately, R.I.P. to beef. That was one of the saddest things.
yeah.
The finale really hit me home. But obviously, you got to play with him, which I felt like not a lot of people talked about because it was so early on, in the first round. So I don't know if you can share, I guess, just or talk about how cool that was playing with beef and share. Maybe just spend a few minutes talking about the experience with him and the cart, man, that cart had a lot of weight in it. So that
Oh,
cart
it
must have
did.
been.
Oh, it did. No,
So yeah, man.
that was probably the funnest part about being with Beef was playing golf with him was awesome, but sitting in the golf cart laughing, talking about life, talking about the golf shots we have to hit, just making fun of one another. That is probably one of the best experiences I've had on a golf course with anyone. And to be able to say that, I played an official 9 holes with Cody was one of the biggest blessings for me. And, you know, you can't write up a story like this. Like this whole internet invitational, people think it was scripted, right? But it was amazing. And Beef, he is definitely the center of the story. And, I love him. May he rest in peace. I'm just grateful to have had those conversations with him. Even before the Internet Invitational, we had chatted quite a bit before. We're pretty good friends. Um, but no, man, I'm very grateful for him and the stories that he's shared with me, the bond we have, and yeah, just that first round was super fun. Unfortunately, we lost, but I wouldn't want to have lost with anyone else or lose with anyone else.
Yeah, I didn't get to meet him. I told Brad I had only shared a few DMs with him, but he like even the DMs, it was the same person. Like he literally said to me, like, "Have a wonderful day." Like I tried to get him on when he first signed with Barstool for an interview on this channel, and he was like, "I'm not big enough yet to come on your channel." I'm like, "Dude, you." I didn't. He was just the nicest person. Like you said, it really is tragic and sad. But I feel like the best we can do is just kind of shed light on it. Like I said, I feel like not a lot of people even remember that you got to play with him, which I found super. At least spend a few minutes talking about it. Let's fast forward to the finals, man. Like, how were your emotions? Like, I know you mentioned in the Good podcast that you didn't realize Bobby was the one who kind of started all the thing, but like, because you were so locked in, like, so just walk me through like the first 9 holes before all like that, just how your emotions were and how nervous was like that first tee ball. Did you mash that first tee ball?
Yeah,
And like,
I was
dude, that's got to be
surprised.
nerve wracking.
Yeah, I was surprised. I went into the tournament, the finale, dude. I was trying my very best to have the mentality of this is a YouTube video. Have fun. Enjoy the moment. I don't know if you noticed in the video, I kept saying, let's have fun. Like, this is fun. This is great. Because I'm trying to like reassure myself that, like, hey, this at the end of the day, this is a YouTube video. I know we're playing for $1.7 million, but if I start thinking about the money and I start thinking about, what happens after, then that's when I start to tense up and I get nervous. And so for me, dude, I was actually more calm than you can imagine. Yes, I was nervous over, a few stuff coming down the stretch, but like that first tee ball, I took my first swing. There was that butterfly that I saw, the shadow, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna step off. The second one, Chaz, it was a complete accident. I know he was in an accident. He don't want to do that on purpose. So I stepped off there, and then the third one, I just took a deep breath. I said, let's have fun, and we hit a great drive down the middle, and we did good as a team there. Um, what was really hard for me, for my personal self, was watching others like play, like my other teammates. Like I was more nervous watching Paige and Frankie hit than I was for my own golf ball, right? Just because like you're just like you're really hoping for the best, but you kind of got to expect the worst in alternate shot. That's just how it is, you know? But those first 9 holes was amazing. On the eighth hole, when Paige made that big birdie putt, in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to do this. Little did I know, number 9 was just the beginning of the end for us. But yeah, the first eight holes was it was a blur, I'd say I played decent. I had one really bad tee shot, and that was on number 4 when I hit it to the right. But other than that, I feel like I played, semi decent. And so, yeah,
Dude, I mean, you like even after the slope thing, like you hit some shots and like, dude, I can't imagine like that's nerves. Like that's the thing is like people kept saying like not to go back to the slope thing, but people were like, well, like he was like this like different. I'm like, maybe his personality was a little different, but I can't imagine what it's like having 48 people around while trying to win $1 million going through like saying like you but basically cheated. But like, dude, you hit some shots and like you
thank
nutted
you.
up and hit some good shots after all that BS happened. And like that's the thing. It's like if that's me, like I'm gonna melt. Like, it's like if
Yeah,
people are accusing me, like if you were like cheating or whatever, having slope, like you would have melted down after that. But you nutted up and hit some really good shots. And so yeah, man, I just think it's a testament to you and all that because you hit some really good shots and showed out.
thank you.
Go back to the team thing. Have you? And I want to focus. I guess we could talk about Frankie as well, but obviously Paige went through something similar to you and she was on your
Yeah.
team. Have you talked to her much since like the last all thing aired, or I guess since all the hate about
Yes.
everything?
Paige was my best friend for the first 4 days of that internet invitation, or the first 4 days after the finale of the internet invitational. We were just calling each other to double check that we were okay. She's the one who convinced me to delete social media Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And I didn't realize, dude, like Paige is she's a sweetheart. She's awesome. I have a lot of respect for Paige. I really am grateful for our friendship, her and I. Um, we have a lot in common, believe it or not. But no, dude, she was awesome, and I felt so horrible that she was receiving the amount of hate that she got. She did not deserve any of it. And I will tell you this much. I know what the like her patting down the grass was not the best look. I will support her in this fact. When you're thinking of a YouTube golf video, you're really thinking of number one, entertainment, number two, pulling off shots, for the camera, just to like make it fun. I understand that yes, it was for $1.7 million dollars, and yes, it was, rules regulated, but like when you go play into a tournament, like an amateur tournament, your brain flicks on and says tournament golf. You start like if there's like a ruling, you're calling someone over every single time when you're playing in a tournament, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In this type of moment, you're not really thinking like that. You're thinking like more, let's pull this shot off. Let's do this. And unfortunately it looked bad. And there's nothing you can really do about it. You can't go back in time. But I am very grateful for my relationship with Paige, with Frankie. They've been some of my bestest, my biggest supporters throughout all of this. And so, yeah,
I love that, man. And shout out to Paige. Like I've met her at the Good Chicago event. She's super nice. I
yeah,
only got to spend a few minutes with her, but she was very nice. And ironically enough, that was after you filmed, so she was probably like sitting on that. You were there obviously as well.
yeah,
But the thing is and I've had a few weeks to think on this, and yes, it didn't look good. I think the thing with Paige is if Peter didn't say anything, then this would be a non-story because we only saw one angle of her doing that. And yes, it doesn't look good where she's doing patting the grass down, but I think it looks optically worse because one of how it was edited because Peter said something. But in her defense, like, yes, she didn't know it was a role, but like you said, it's a YouTube video, but also like she could have just been trying to, I don't know, identify the golf ball. Like if you look later in the video, Francis actually did something similar, but he's just identifying the golf ball. I think with her,
hmm
her biggest issue was she said she didn't know the rule, which
yeah.
with the
It's
whole
just,
competitive thing, like she just painted herself into a corner there, and I
yeah,
can't defend that. But I just want to come to her defense and say, like, we only had one angle. I think just the way it was painted, and Peter obviously saying something, I think made it a whole lot worse than it actually
yeah,
looked or was, in my opinion.
yeah,
But
no, yeah. I mean, like at the end of the day, even with me, dude, like my whole when I grabbed the rangefinder, it looked horrible. It
oh,
looked,
terrible, yeah.
and we don't need to beat around the bush there. It looked bad. It looked suspicious. It looked, and I'll even hand up of accountability, man. I did a lot of questionable things this whole entire tournament, and so like that's why I don't blame anyone for not believing me at all, right? Because I did it to myself, and that's just something I got to live with personally. It's not on them. I don't. But then again, I don't feel obligated to have to prove to other people what I did. I don't feel like I need to like say, hey guys, look at this, look at this. Look, I don't need to state the facts because
Because
at
I
the
did
end of
it.
the day, yeah, my guy. Because at the end of the day, dude, people are still gonna, believe what they want to believe, And so, for me, deep down, I know personally, I didn't have my slope on in the finale. I know I had it on for the first hole of the Internet Invitational, and then we got the news that we had to turn it off, and we turned it off.
Yeah.
But even like and here's the thing with the same thing that Paige did with like patting down the grass. I don't know if you saw, but in the second episode when I was playing Garrett, I broke a
Yeah, the
branch.
papani. Oh yeah, people were like freaking out about that, and the
Yeah, and it's
river
like,
thing.
dude, hand up, I did that, and I wasn't
But he,
thinking in the moment. Like I
in
said, I'm
in
just
your
like thinking
defense, man,
like,
I just want to say this one thing. Like, I want to go through every single contestant who every shot and see, like, because I guarantee you guys were not the only ones who cheated or broke a rule. Like you said, one, it's a Barstool tournament. Even Dave said at the beginning, do whatever it takes to win. And for a lot of people who don't know Barstool, like they cheat in their tournaments like for money. Like that's just the like Barstool thing, but that's fine. Like that's how Barstool is. But like people were so hyper fixated on you guys. But I need to go through like I even saw Mr. Short Game did something like Gabby Golf Girl like hit a branch, and that's a rule. Like she broke a rule, but it doesn't matter. And so, like I said, I want to go through and fixate on everybody and see like because I guarantee you weren't the only ones who did something illegal or whatever. Like there was
yeah,
no governing body. Like that's my and I apologize. I just
yeah,
wanted to say that
no, you're good, you're
because like
good,
dude, you yes, you did it and it it's so fixated on you because of the slope thing. Well, he cheated in
yeah,
that. He must have done this and it's like, man, other people I'm sure broke rules too, man. Like it
yeah.
just, it's a YouTube video tournament.
Yeah,
Just for a
yeah,
lot of money.
yeah.
So
It's a lose-lose for me in that situation, and but at the end of the day, there's nothing I can really do about it. It's just what I gotta live with, and I'm willing to live with it. I feel like I've took this situation and head on, and I've dealt with it the best I possibly can. I don't want to like deal with this and be defensive towards the situation because I feel like if I come off defensive, I'm gonna look even more guilty, or I'm gonna look this or look that. I just want to be me and golf, and whether people like me or not, they still watch. So it's just like, it's just it is what it is. But I will say this, dude. Do you know who I'm really grateful for? I'm really grateful for Bob Does Sports and for Barstool, for even giving me the opportunity to be out there. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for them even thinking of me being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the way Barstool edited it. Like, I know it, I know, but it's their job. Like,
No,
their
no, and
job
I'm not
is
faulting them.
this
And
and
I
that.
said that. I said
No,
that from
no.
the very beginning in all my videos that they
Yeah.
can do whatever they want. They put up $1 million, like it's their
Yeah.
footage. More
Yeah.
power
Yep.
to them. Their
100%.
goal is to create drama and clicks. And man, they fucking did a great job because that
They did
content was
amazing.
awesome.
I
you
know,
know?
I know. I'm just saying as a whole
Yeah.
for everyone watching this, like I'm just grateful for Barstool until I even have met, Dave and Big Cat. But even like of course being with the foreplay boys, like dude, Riggs, Frankie, Trent, all those guys reached out to me after and they're just like saying, "Hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. We love you." Like dude, they're just great human beings, and Bob, Joe, FP, they were all reaching out to and just saying, "Hey, we love you. We're support you. Anything you need." I was like, "That's family right there, bro."
Love
And
that,
so
man.
it
And
was good.
I have a follow up question around the other like rules infractions. I obviously you saw. I don't know if you know Ryan Whitney is obviously there. He had said that it was going around that you were fast and loose with the rules. That was going around the tournament, and I just want to at
Yeah.
least give you the chance to talk about that, address it, and I guess just maybe my question would be obviously you could take it and talk about it, but I guess what. How does that make you feel, and why do you think that he said that?
I mean, no, dude, it was a thing that, like I said, throughout the whole tournament, I kind of was adopted that trait of being loose and with the rules. I will admit, I love to win. Just like anyone else. I love to win. I'm going to try to take every advantage I possibly can in any kind of given moment. I know that there's three accusations of me cheating. Number one was the branch. I'll check that one off the box. I did do that. That was on me. Number two was the rock in the river with Chaz and with Bubby and I. In that moment, dude, Bubby was being awesome and he was standing up for what was right. You can see me clearly in the back being quiet because, like, when Fasoli picked up the ball, removed the mud, he put it back and it rolled back in. When we replaced it, put it back up to its original spot, it kept rolling back in and in because it's in a stream, you know. But then we finally got it to rest, and then I'm just an idiot. I move a rock like almost a foot behind it, and it moved the ball, and that's when chaos left the building. That's when Chaz was like, "Dude, that should be two strokes," and to be completely honest, it was. But in that moment, I'm thinking, I'm just going to be quiet, and that's on me. That's my character. That's something that I got to live with, and I will own up to that 100%. That's in one of those moments where I'm just like, you know what? I want to win. And if I can save me another stroke, I knew that we were going to have to take a penalty stroke regardless. I was just trying to avoid two. And that's just on me. But when it came to the whole rangefinder slope stuff, that stuff with 100% surety, I can say I had the slope off. And so,
It just goes back to editing, dude. Like they didn't have to show all of that. Like it's just like putting Easter eggs. Like just like looking back on it, it's like they're trying to paint a picture from the very first video, like showcasing you doing certain things to make it look like you're this questionable character. Because in reality, dude, it was reality TV, and they're
yeah,
trying to create characters, plots, drama. And at the end of the day, man, it was very, very well done. I don't think you
yeah,
need to explain yourself. I get it, and like you said, it's not an official tournament, man. Like there's
yeah,
just like, you did mention and you do whatever it takes to win. I think Blake said that on the Good podcast. And I want to ask you about this because I haven't seen any of the guys, and obviously, I have a lot of the guys on pretty close, have good relationships with a lot of people over at Good. Um, None of them have really defended you or said definitively that you weren't using slope, at least that I've seen. So my question
yeah.
is, how does that make you feel that none of the guys have really come out and said definitively that you weren't using slope? And I guess does that bother you in any way at all? And obviously, you just kind of talked about it. You do whatever it takes to win. But that was my follow up question.
Yeah. No, with all the boys over at Good, I love them all. regardless. Like they're my boys. I'll do anything and everything for them. And I respect them right now in that moment. Like I think and, they believe what they wanted to believe. If they believe I had it on, they believe I had it on. If they believe I had it off, they believe I had it off. Like, I think they're all just staying neutral to the situation. Because I think if they come out publicly and state all these facts and all this and all that, it could, look bad on them too. You know what I'm saying? So I respect them. I think they're all just being neutral about the whole situation. Ultimately, we've all talked about it like, behind or off camera. And, they're all been super supportive towards me about the whole situation. I think just in the moment publicly, they're just being more just, neutral towards the whole situation. They're not leaning into the whole fact of like, oh, he had it off or he had it on. I think they're staying in their lane, which I respect. I don't
That's fair,
blame them
man.
at all. So
That's an adult response. That's a
yeah,
adult friendship business response right there.
yeah,
Like and because obviously, I had Kendrick on. I want to get his thoughts because I wanted to hear like what he thought about what it did for the Good brand. Because people are saying you need to be fired. Which, in my defense, if it's proven you use Slope at this point and you've been lying all
yeah,
these months, you probably deserve to be fired. I'll say that to your face
yeah,
because
yeah. It's
but like
true.
it like I just like I at the end of the day, as long as people don't know the stuff that takes place behind closed doors. If you're and
Yeah,
you guys are good and you're boys, I don't think you guys have any reason to lie. And I know everyone at Good over there is pretty honest. Dude, I've been called a corporate sellout and shill for coming to your defense. I'm like, the Good guys haven't even come to his defense. How am I a shill for Good if
yeah,
his own guys won't? But at the end of the day, man, I mean, I say what I believe. Good doesn't pay me
yeah,
anything. I have no affiliation with Good. I like their clothes. I support the
yeah,
brand. Other than that,
yeah,
man, that's it. So
yeah,
cool. Well, I'm glad we got that addressed. I want to talk about Mr. Micah Morris. I don't
yeah,
know. Obviously, he called you out with the slope thing initially. I want to know, what is your relationship like with Micah? We got the kind of the old new good angle there. So I just want to hear, if you talk to him, what's your relationship like with him, and is there a collab
yeah.
coming?
Man, dude, I hope for a collab soon. I'm actually a huge fan of Micah. I've been watching Tig and even when he was with Garrett doing the Sunday matches, I'm not sure if you remember
Oh
those
yeah, yeah.
back in the day. I've been a huge fan of Micah, and to be able to have the opportunity to have played alongside with him, it's amazing. He's a great golfer, a great friend. We don't have any beef. At least I don't have any beef with him. I look up to Micah in a lot of ways. And it's just one of those moments where Micah was just being completely honest. He looked at a number. He got a different number than me. It's not like he was calling me out to hopefully get me disqualified or any part. He's just genuinely asking, like, Melosi, is your slope on? Like, he's doing what anyone else would have done if they would have, heard what I said or had that, curiosity, And so, like I said, Micah is awesome. I haven't talked to him since the Internet Invitational has released. I know he's busy. I'm busy. But no, he's awesome. I'm grateful for the friendship I have with Micah, and I really do want to play a full round with him where we film and we have a good time.
Love that, man. You're too nice. Come on, man. Give me a clip. I'm just trying to. No, I'm just kidding, dude. I would actually love to have Mike on the show. Mike, if you
Yeah,
somehow see this, respond to my DMs. You said you'd come on like in February. We're like 10 months later, but it'll
yeah,
happen. No, that's cool, man. It's good to hear. Like I said, there's just so much stuff that I feel like everyone was so hyper fixated on, just was it on or was it off, that I wanted to know, like, all these other like things that didn't get talked about in the podcast that you did with Garrett. So I just, at least give you a chance to
yeah,
speak on it.
yeah.
What was your favorite part of the entire tournament? Like, there was I mean, you made it from start to finish, and it's crazy because it's only like a 2 day thing. I think you guys were there for maybe 2 or 3 days,
It
but it
was
was
3 days. Yep, it was
okay.
3 days we were there. Dude, my favorite part about the Internet Invitational was just meeting all of the people who I've been following for such a long time. Kind of like yourself, I'm a huge golf guy. I watch a lot of YouTube golf. And like, dude, I genuinely just want to be able to meet these people in person. And it's funny because we all talk, dude. Like all of us talk throughout, social media, and some of us have exchanged numbers and stuff, so we chat. But like just to be able to make those connections, I off camera the day after the Internet Invitational, I played around with Rick Shields, and dude, completely honest with you, it was one of the funnest rounds I've had in a long time. We didn't have any cameras rolling. It was just Rick and I. Chaz played the first like 6 holes with us, then he had to go to his flight. But like, it was so fun to get to know Rick on a personal level. Um, just a stand-up guy. I really appreciate the friendship I have with Rick, and no, dude, it was just the whole thing was awesome. My favorite moment was just meeting everyone for the first time in person.
Yeah, dude. I love that, man. And like you said, you're everyone always likes to say like act like you've been there before, and like sometimes I've never been there before, so like I don't really know how to act. So like when I get like a Kendrick on or a Wesley Bryan or like these people who I've watched that are like so huge, and you get to meet, and like obviously you and I met and we've met a few times, but like at the
Yeah,
people thing, like dude, like I'm there with like the biggest people in the space, you, Toombs, Quan, like all these people, and I'm just like, man, do I deserve to be here? But like, it's just
yeah,
cool. Like, you're trying to belong. You're trying to, like you
yeah,
said, make connections because, like,
yeah,
yes, you're a fan, but also like this is really it's a great opportunity for you to network, get
100%.
collaborations. Like, for me, I'm trying to get Quan, Toombs, all these guys on that I was able to meet a couple months ago, and it's just
Yeah,
like you said, it's a great opportunity. That's good to hear that. Like, you
yeah,
appreciate all that, behind the scenes stuff. Do you have any
yeah.
like funny stories that were off camera that you can share with like anyone from like the cabins or like anything post round, pre round, snacks, like anything? I know there was
Yeah,
a
there
lot of
was a, there was
cameras,
a
but
there was a lot of stuff off camera. Me and like, dude, me and the Busted Jack boys are really close. Mason and Cole, they were so supportive throughout the whole thing too, as well. Dude, just have to give them a quick shout out. But us two, Garrett, Quan, and their camera guy, Caden. One night we went to over to their cabin and we are just hanging out, and they're like, we should play some, well, what's it called, like Rocket Ship or something like that. It's a online gambling thing. Quan ended up winning like almost three, or probably closer to like 5 grand that night. And just like it's like one of those things that like you take off, and the higher it goes, and like planes, I think it's called planes, sorry, not rocket ships. Planes, and he kept hitting like these bonuses, and then if it lands on like a runway, you get paid. And it happened. And Quan just all of a sudden, like, dude, you just turned like 200 bucks into 5 grand. Like, what the heck? And then he turned 5 grand into like 9 grand later. It was like just the craziest thing. Um, but it was just fun just hanging out with all those guys, just because everyone put money, and Micah was there. Everyone just put like 100 bucks into a pot. So all of us were just hanging out and just being degenerates for a small time, but it was fun.
love that, dude. That sounds like, I mean, obviously, as you know, we were in the people's league thing and doing
Yeah.
experiencing not similar, but going out there. That's the best, dude. With the boys, you get out there, you win a
Yeah.
bunch of money, everyone's
Yep.
hype. That's the
Yep.
best, dude.
Yep.
That's the
Yep, it's
best.
true. When you
Uh,
lose together, so it's
Yeah,
even
that's right.
better.
Speaking of together, man, I just want to talk about family, your brother. I know we can move past Internet Invitational. That's kind of it. I have a
Yeah.
couple more questions before I let you go. But how's the family been, man? How's your brother doing? Like, how are
Good,
things
good.
going with the Tagasala family out in St. George, Utah?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I hosted Thanksgiving this year for the first time. My wife and I, we made a goal this year to buy a house, and we bought a home. We're first time home buyers, so come on.
Congratulations, man.
So we hosted my family here and my wife's family. We brought them all together, and we did steaks instead of turkey this year. It was super good. My dad, I took him out golfing 2 times, and it's just so funny to do golfing with your hero, someone who I look up to tremendously. And it's kind of sad though, because like my dad's getting up there in age. I shouldn't say getting up there, like he's like 90. He's only 51,
Oh, dude,
right?
come
So
on. You're still
he's still
young.
young, but still, it's so funny to see the people who you're closest with just kind of get older. Because like we're playing 18 holes at San Hollow, and he's just getting a little tired by on hole 16.
Yeah.
We get to hole 17, and there's a couple groups. There's 2 groups on the hole, and my dad's like, dude, I'll be completely honest. I'm pretty tired right now. are you okay if we just go in? I'm like, anything you want, Dad, let's go. And it's just funny because, back in the day, it was like, hey, let's go try to squeeze in another 18, and my dad told me at that moment he hadn't played 18 holes since the beginning of September. So
Sheesh.
he's just a 9-hole warrior now, dude. But no, he's good. My mom's good. She's the one who's took a lot of heat throughout the whole internet invitational just because it's a mom, anytime
Yeah.
like your son or your daughter, your child is going through something, they kind of take on the heat with you. But she's doing a lot better. She's just doing her thing. And so, but sisters are good. Brother is doing great. He's in Colorado right now. He's working. He's trying to make the social media thing work,
He's
and
grinding, man. Shout out
he's
Maxie. He's
grinding.
grinding.
Yeah, shout out to my little brother Max. He's doing his thing. I'm grateful for him. But yeah, dude, we're all good. My wife is hanging in there. She's been filming for me lately. But dude, everything's been great.
Love that, man. We still got to link up and get a match. I got to get out to Vegas sometime. I know I'll see you in Arizona. Are you going to Arizona for the live event?
Yes, I will. I will most
Sweet.
likely be there. So yeah,
Okay.
we maybe link up there, and
Yeah,
even
but
if you do come to Vegas, dude, please let me know. I got
yeah.
plenty of connections. We can go play and film, or
How
even if you
far
wanted to
out?
come to St. George. I'm only an hour and a half
Oh, from
from
Vegas.
Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, we
so I
definitely got to
just
link
drive
up
down.
sometime for sure.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Last question. What's next? Like, what do you got coming up in the personal channel? You got any stuff coming up to end of the year? Any cool collabs coming up? What's next for Big Mo MALOSI Golf channel, which we will link in the description. Just drop me a sub. If you made it this far in the video, drop me a sub as well. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Please subscribe to the Scratch Golf Show. Marco deserves it. You guys need to subscribe. But what's up next for me, man? It's just holidays. It's taking some time off. We had a hell of a year, man. Just a grind. The last 8 months for us in Good, we have traveled more than we ever have before. And so this month of December, it's going to be family time. It's going to be, reaping the rewards of hard work. It's going to be, spending the times with those you love most. And then start in January,
Back in the
it's
saddle.
it's head down
Yeah.
and it's run, not even like walking, it's running. And so for me, I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't really have the biggest of collabs coming up. I need to be better at reaching out to people. I sometimes have like a little, hesitation of like I'm scared to ask because I don't want to be that guy, like I don't want people to feel like I'm using, their name to get, views and stuff. But I really want to film a match with Fat Perez with FP. It's hard though because now he's skinny, so it's like we can't do a battle of the big boys really anymore. He's tiny now, and so but I still do. I would love to film a match with FP. Would love because I'm a huge fan of Bob to Sports. I really am. I think they're awesome. Would love to play with Grant. Just because I've never played with Grant, like I said, with Micah as well, it'd be super fun. But more than anything, dude, the channel, I'm just trying to just keep it growing. I'm trying to be consistent. That's the hardest part in YouTube, as you have found out. And for all those who want to get into YouTube, it's just, you got to post. You really just have to post every single week, in and out. Like if you don't, you lose your subscribers, you lose your audience. And so, but no, dude, nothing too crazy for me. I'm just wherever good needs me, I'll go. And if they'll have me, I'll be there. So it's gonna be a blessing regardless.
It's hard to grow the solo channel too when you're just constantly traveling for good. No offense. I mean, good is obviously pays you and does that. And so,
They're my number one priority when it
yeah,
comes to
for sure.
comes to work. So
Yeah.
and dude, I will forever be indebted to good. They are the biggest blessing in my life. And so
I love it, man. That's my goal. One day, hopefully.
we'll make it
Dude,
happen. We'll make it happen.
dude, your guy Mason's also shout out, Big Nut, man. He's losing a lot of weight too. All the big boys are getting skinny, man. Anyway,
I
dude,
know.
it's funny to hear that you get nervous asking people because obviously I get nervous, but it's funny to hear that
Yeah,
even the bigger people in the space get nervous asking. So it makes me feel a little bit
yeah.
better about But cool,
Well,
man.
it's
Well,
funny. I
big,
still don't even consider myself a big person. Big person in physical. Yes, I am. But like, I'm talking about like when it
yeah,
comes to the social media game, I still
yeah.
feel like I feel like I don't have enough pull yet. And so,
Yeah.
that's just where I just need to just keep on working hard and giving people a reason to want to be on the channel. So it'll
That's
happen.
right. That's right, baby. All right. MALOSI, Big Mo, man, thank you so much. Happy to have you again. Open invite to come on whenever you want. Friend of the
Yes.
program. I'll link up in Vegas. Subscribe. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. Any sign off messages, feel free, and then I'll let you go.
Everyone, make sure to hit a subscribe button to Marco. Scratch Golf Show. He's the man. He's a myth. He's a legend. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.